All right, let's get this started. I'm a day late again, but this is the almost internet famous weekly TechSpective happy hour, coming to you on Saturday afternoon instead of Friday afternoon. So we can, we'll talk a little bit about why it's late again this week. But first, let's get to the happy hour part. So I've got this week Beck's Sapphire, German Sapphire hops. So let's see what this is all about. Pretty golden, looks like your standard beer color, really. For some reason I was expecting something darker, a la Guinness or something. It's good, it's just a beer. It's no coffee porter, but definitely drinkable. All right, so let's do this real quick. Let's talk about the week in tech. For starters, on Monday, I posted that on December 22nd, I think it is, The Martian will be available for digital purchase, so digital HD. The actual Blu-ray or physical DVD aren't going to be available until January 12th, but if you have not seen the movie, it is an excellent movie. I highly recommend it. I actually went and saw it twice. My wife and I went and saw it, and we liked it so much we took the kids and went back and saw it again. So excellent movie. And like I said, you'll be able to pick that up starting on December 22nd via digital HD. We posted a review this week of the CompuLox. It's called the Blade, and it basically is a thin, flat piece of metal that sticks onto a laptop or a tablet that doesn't already have a slot for a computer lock. And then there's a part that flips out at a perpendicular, like a 90-degree angle, that has a slot that you can lock, attach a computer lock to. And so the idea is you would use this for tablets or ultrabooks or other laptops that don't come with the computer lock slot built in. It's nice. I mean, you should go check out the review. I mean, it style-wise or aesthetics-wise, it looks pretty nice. For something that you attach to your laptop or tablet. It's not very bulky. It can withstand up to 150 pounds of pull before the adhesive would give, and even then, I think before the adhesive would give, you would destroy the device. So it will secure, your device if you use computer locks. Now, I work in a home office. I don't travel that often. When I do travel, I have never made a point of locking my stuff. But my son, who's off at college, he uses a computer lock with his laptop when he's out and about doing stuff, because ostensibly there's more opportunities for laptop theft. So if you have a device like a tablet, iPad Pro, Surface Pro 4, some other kinds of the thinner laptops or whatever. Basically, a lot of the consumer-oriented stuff that isn't that isn't intended for the enterprise does not come with the computer lock pre-installed. Oddly, I just got the dock for the Surface Pro 4, and it has a computer lock slot. So that's not going to stop anyone from taking the Surface Pro 4 that's plugged into it, but I can lock the docking station up. I just thought that was a little strange, really. So what else? we talked this week about ransomware. So in case, just a quick primer in case you don't know, ransomware is, malware where, you open the file, you click on the link, all those things you're not supposed to do. And the malware basically just encrypts all of your data so that you can't access any of your own data. And then a message will pop up and say, here's the ransom note. You give us $200, $500, $1,000. It depends on the ransomware attack. But basically, you pay us some amount of money, often via Bitcoin, something that's going to be an untraceable currency, and then we'll give you the decryption key to get your data back. And to my knowledge, the bad guys follow through and actually, if you pay the ransom, I think you actually get the key and decrypt your data. I guess it would be part of the business model. I mean, if they took your money and didn't give you the key, they'd get your money that one time, but nobody would ever pay them the ransom again. So I think part of what makes that model for an attack viable is they have to follow through and give you back your data. But still, you don't want to be in a position where you have to spend $200 or $500 or $1,000 to get your own data back. So you should check out the article for tips on how to avoid the ransomware compromises in the first place. But also, I think one of the most important things really is making sure you have backups. If you're backing up your data on a regular basis, you don't have to worry about the ransom. If I was hit by a ransomware attack right now, I wouldn't pay the ransom. I would just rebuild my computer and put my data back. At most I would lose whatever data I may have created between yesterday and today. So if you do frequent backups, at the very least, that the ransomware can't destroy, or you're not going to lose any data that you have backed up. So you don't have to pay the ransom. But check out the post. It's got some great advice for how to avoid the ransomware compromises in the first place. There was also a post I did this week about security over the holidays, and it was targeted more at security professionals, more at people who work in IT, who work in IT security. As we come up on the holiday break, I want to say most organizations basically shut down the last week to 2 weeks of the year. They go on skeleton crew. Everybody's off for the holidays. If it's not just the holiday break, a lot of companies require you to use all your vacation days, or they'll only roll over so many vacation days. So you end up with like half the company taking vacation at the end of the year to try to get their vacation days in under the wire. Bottom line is there's basically nobody at work, or very few people at work. And that might seem like a time that you don't really need to worry about security, but the servers are still on, the website's still up. A lot of times the endpoints, the actual, the PCs that are on people's desktops, sitting on their desks, those are still on, and the bad guys know that you're not home. So that's a good time for them to go crazy trying to break into your network and trying to get into your servers and compromise your data, because they assume you're not there and you're not paying attention, and they have 2 weeks of unfettered access to try to break in. So there are some tips that I wrote up in terms of what do you need to do to make sure that that you're still paying attention. How do you make sure you still have security people who are monitoring the network? How do you minimize what's exposed? How do you minimize what's available to attack when nobody's there? And how do you make sure that in the event that there's a successful attack, in the event that there's some sort of a compromise or a security incident, who's going to be on call, who do you call from your vendors, because your support companies and your the consultants and the outside third party companies you work with, they're all on vacation too. So you need to have a plan in place for, okay, if something goes down, who do I call? Who do they call? How do we respond? Step 1, 2, 3, 4. How is this going to happen? So there's some good stuff in there in terms of how can you, as an IT professional or an IT security professional, relax and enjoy your holiday break with some peace of mind, knowing that security is still under control, back at the office. And then we'll just wrap up with the post that Rob Enderle wrote this week that I posted yesterday about why a smartwatch is not a great gift idea. It's not that he doesn't like smartwatches per se. He makes some very good points in there in terms of there are so many options out there. There are basically a few core varieties. There's the ones like the Fitbits and the Microsoft Band that are more or less fitness oriented. There's there are watches from traditional watchmakers that have some smartwatch capabilities that are definitely more on the watch end. There's things like the Moto 360 or the new Samsung Gear S2 that look very stylish, and even if you just wanted a watch, they look nice as a watch, but they also have the smartwatch capabilities. Then there's things like the Apple Watch, which it looks okay. It's not the best looking of the smartwatches, but it's got a lot of cool capabilities. And if you're an Apple user and you have an iPhone, it's a handy device. But the main point that Rob makes, and that I agree with completely, is that it's a bad thing to give as a gift because there's so much volatility in the market. There are so many options. A lot of it is still sort of fad status, and so somebody might think, wow, that Apple Watch is cool, I really want an Apple Watch. And then you buy them an Apple Watch and they try it on and they go, oh, I don't really like this. And you've spent $300, $500 on this gift that they don't actually want. And even on a lesser level, I mean, even if you're talking about a Microsoft Band for a couple hundred, you still run the risk of them getting it, deciding that it doesn't really meet their needs, having it be obsolete in 3 months. I think one of the other things is, if somebody isn't already wearing a watch or doesn't usually wear a watch and they ask for something like that because it seems like, it's the trend, it's, wearable, wrist-borne wearable technology is all the rage, and they think, hey, I want to get in on that. There's still a really good chance that they're going to wear it for a week or two and then go, you know what, it's uncomfortable. I don't like having something on my wrist. And I've done a lot of smartwatch reviews. I mean, you can go back through the site. There are generally things that I like about each of them. There's a lot of things I don't like about a lot of them. And in the end, I do find myself sort of in that camp of, I'm not sure I really want anything on my wrist. I'm a huge fan of the Microsoft Band. In terms of bang for the buck, it's not the most attractive device, but it's for all it does and for all of its features and capabilities, it's a very inexpensive gadget relative to the rest of the field. And I wore it daily for quite a while, but eventually I got tired of having something on my wrist, and so now I don't wear it. I still consider the Apple Watch every once in a while, but I'm sort of holding out for Apple Watch 2 at this point, and seeing what, if there's a style change and things like that. But in the end, my basic assessment of all of the smartwatches is that none of them do enough to make me want to wear something on my wrist. There's always, there's a convenience factor. They do some cool things. There's, the fitness ones, especially if you're doing fitness stuff, then by all means, wear a fitness tracker. But I haven't found one that I'm completely sold on, and I've, tried 10 different smartwatches, and, various fitness tracking devices. So, anyway, it's a fair point. It's a good article. You should read it. Like I said, he makes a lot of good points about, why whether you like smartwatches or not, whether the person who asked for the gift likes smartwatches or not. There are just some reasons that's maybe not a great idea to do as a gift, because they're not cheap, and there's a good chance that by the time summer rolls around, they won't be wearing it anymore. So you should check that out. Anyway, so real quick, I'll close up with some of the reasons this was late this week. Number one, my birthday was this week, so I took one whole day off and didn't do anything. I spent time with my family and enjoyed my birthday. I also, this week, started my position with Tenable Network Security as community manager. So it's very exciting. I'm thrilled to be a part of Tenable Network Security. It doesn't change TechSpective or this site, or I'm still going to be doing this site and these videos on the side on my time. But that's the catch, is the my time part. And that's basically why I didn't get to this week, is because I was working for Tenable. So in past weeks, when I didn't have an employer to answer to, and I didn't have a day job, I would just 4 o'clock or whatever on Friday say, hey, guess I'm going to do my almost internet famous weekly TechSpective happy hour video now. But now that I have an employer and a day job, I was still working then and couldn't just decide to have a beer and make a video. And then it was, I just had other family commitments and activities and stuff going on last night, so I pushed the video to today. So I have to work out all those, work out the scheduling and the logistics to balance between, having a full-time day job doing my thing with Tenable, but also working in the time that I need for my other writing activities and taking care of this website and taking care of these videos and stuff. So I know that in a week or two ago, I promised a number of reviews, and we have done. I mean, we've done more reviews, posted more reviews in the last week than normal, than we have in the past few months. But there are so many more things to review, so many more reviews to post, and it's been crazy because of the holidays. Well, not just the holidays, but because of the holidays, my wife's ordered tons of stuff for me, for the kids, for other people. I've ordered tons of stuff. So we've got UPS and FedEx and everyone showing up on a daily basis here. And then amongst all that, I've gotten tons of gadgets, tons of stuff shipped to me from various vendors to review. So it's been like Christmas every day here this week. So I definitely need to figure out how to balance that time between Tenable and doing my stuff for TechSpective, because I have a ton of stuff to review and play with. So anyway, that is all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Like this, share this, subscribe to the channel, invite other people to subscribe to the channel. By all means, sign up for the newsletter. Here's the thing. I'd love to see more engagement. We have a lot of, there's a lot of you signed up for the email newsletters. There's a lot of you subscribed to this YouTube channel. There's a lot of you, there's a lot of traffic to the site, a lot of people reading stuff. I want more comments. I want more questions. let me know. Do you have any questions about the things that we're reviewing? Do you have any questions about Windows? Questions about security? Are there any products or services or topics that we're not covering that you'd like to know more about? Share your thoughts, your experiences with, ransomware or smartwatches or whatever. So please, comment on this video, comment on the site, engage more. I'd love to have it be more of a back and forth where we're working with each other and working as a community to all learn more. So anyway, that's all. Have a good weekend.